know. I'm aware.
Getting bogged down.
I'm aware.
Welcome to the bonus episode of the Summit Chasers podcast. I'm here with my lovely partner, Adrena, who just took 10 minutes to pick the color that we were going to have in the background.
Here we go.
Money, money, making crap for money.
Yeah.
Money, and
I still don't love it either. I'm not going to lie.
This is the realities of owning a business and running a business with your partner.
Let's not talk about that. We talk about that all the time.
I know we're not actually going to talk about it, but
Okay,
that's
cool.
I'm just giving them some insights into
okay.
that's actually this is part of it.
Yeah.
And I got to deal with that, and I have to know we have to make up for it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is just a bonus episode. We haven't had the Summit Chasers podcast out in a little while. We took a little bit of a hiatus so we could focus on the things that we needed to focus on. We preach this all the time. Clarity, knowing exactly what you should be focusing on to create the leverage to move the needle appropriately is how you grow a business. It's how you do a lot of things really well. Get into shape, raise kids, almost said raise people, but they're people, and
people.
grow a business. So that just wasn't on the docket. So now we have the time, we have the partners, we have the amazing studio.
Space.
Exactly. To be able to do that. And we have the team that can take on some things that we just couldn't do before. And now we're here.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a little welcome back episode before.
I feel honored that you chose to have me on for your welcome back episode, actually.
Some partners get flowers. I get a 20-minute podcast episode.
Yeah, literally. It's funny, though, because he told me he'd never have me on. So clearly that wasn't true.
We'll see if we'll release this.
It's gonna be great.
We'll see. And yeah, you're right, though. We talk about it, and we've been on other podcasts with, like, what's that like running a business with your partner? And we usually don't have very good answers for their questions. No. And it's, what do you do to manage the time?
Yeah.
How do you
prioritize
each other and that kind of stuff? And it's hard sometimes, but I don't know. We just kind of do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have like a secret. Even when people are like, how did you meet? Like everything's kind of boring.
Hinge.
Except for Hinge. Let's go Hinge. But everything's kind of, in that regard, it's kind of boring. We just kind of do it. Like the answers are boring. The life's not boring.
Right.
But we just kind of make it work.
Yeah.
But in the last year, since we've released an episode, what's been going on?
What hasn't been going on?
What
I think is
hasn't
the
been
easier
going
question to answer.
What are the highlights?
Okay. Arkansas. Lived in a travel trailer for like 3.5, 4 months with 4 dogs, 2 kids for a month straight. And it's a tiny trailer. Like we're talking 22 feet total. And I think 18 of living.
18 of living space, yeah.
Yeah. Really fun. Really exciting.
It was fun.
It was really fun. Like I feel like we learned a lot. We grew a lot. I realized how much I can actually handle. Like your girl was not outdoorsy. I considered my version of being outdoorsy an outdoor shopping mall in Southern California. So the fact that I lived in a travel trailer in campgrounds and like did the whole thing, very proud of myself.
When people ask me what's been your biggest accomplishment in the last 2 years, it was getting you at a campsite.
Fuck's sake. I thought you were going to say like something around not being as high maintenance or something, but it was getting me at a campsite.
I think that was part of the tactic that made you less high maintenance, maybe. I don't know what it was. But, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was difficult. It was kind of the self-inflicting growth force. It was,
right.
Again, we lived in a trailer with 4 dogs. Half the time we had 2 kids, just traveling the country.
Yeah.
And we kind of did it till it was kind of our ego why we did it, sort of, because we wanted to prove that we could grow and run a business while living a crazy life, and we proved ourselves wrong. in some ways.
Well, in some ways.
Because we just grew, we got too busy, and it wasn't working. Like literally, we would do something called boondocking. So we would go and we basically stay at a different place every night. So we traveled from Atlanta to Dallas, staying at a different kind of free spot every night. And we would stay, one night we stayed in a drive-in movie theater on the top of a mountain on people's ranches.
A deer farm.
Traveled through tornadoes.
Wineries,
breweries, meaderies, that kind of stuff. We got, so a lot of times driving with headaches. It was wild. It was such a cool experience, but yeah, we didn't really prove ourselves right or wrong. I don't know. We kind of got to a point. It got too busy. We need to go settle in, and then we ended up in Canada. My dad just recovered from lung cancer, so we decided to go back to Canada, stay there for a year to help look after them while they were recovering, getting things set up, and also they were able to see the grandkids a lot more for that year. And then that's when we were like, okay, we need to hunker
Head down
in
the basement, like
Literally.
literally like the typical, I feel like, entrepreneur story of like, yeah, I spent a year in the basement building the business. And that's
were
quite
literally-
literally what we were doing.
Yeah, we're literally building, because when we were in Canada is when we brought in the bolt-on. That's when we
Yeah.
brought in the hive.
Yeah.
To be kind of our execution arm, because we had companies in the portfolio, but we couldn't execute. And the hive ended up being, we needed a team, and the
Match
hive
made
had
in
the
heaven.
team.
Yeah.
We had a lot to do. It was even busier shifting their model, bringing in the right people and the right systems, the right processes. And again, it's always going to be a work in process to get it there. But now it's an all-in-one kind of growth execution
Yeah.
agency. I don't even like using the word agency anymore. It's kind of like the word coach. It's been kind of bastardized, but it's true. So, but it was so much work. So like a podcast wasn't even
On the
on
we
the
were
radar.
thinking about it. Yeah.
No, it was how do we hire the right people? What is our business model? Because it's
Yeah.
so unique. Like we have an arm, like we have the marketing, we have the sales funnel development,
We have operations.
in every vertical of marketing, we have experts in now. And then we also have the tech and AI integration arm that we're developing right now. So how do small businesses bring in, where do they start with AI?
Right.
Where do they even start when they're trying to bring in more automations and more tech focused and that kind of stuff? And we talked to a company today, or you talked to a company today, they're worth $300 million and they're still sending invoices
the
on Excel.
on Excel spreadsheets. I was
Crazy.
like, wait, what?
It's wild. It's
Yeah.
wild. But they got here with it. So there's a lot. It's a lot. Like we could not have done any of that if we were, I don't think if we put ourselves in a position where we could hunker down. And we had to.
Right.
And it was great. It was great for us. And it
Yeah.
was in a small town.
Very smallest town I've ever lived in. Like
Me
less
too.
than 3,000 people. You were born and raised there. It's different. I
Sure.
went from Southern California to Vegas to Arkansas to tiny town.
Yeah, your life really
in Canada.
digressed when you met me.
Oh, shut up. Listen, the lifestyle is different, but the love, happiness, fulfillment is like 10, 20, 30x than what it was before.
Yeah, go
so
listen
it's
to our
fine.
sex episode and swearing by it.
Thanks for the plug. Go listen.
Yeah, she has a great podcast with one of our business partners, Sydney.
Yeah.
She's actually the one that had the Hive, formerly Edmund Boutique,
Yeah.
beforehand.
10
came
years
in.
old, too, that company.
Yeah. She was doing like house cleaning and in-person
Events?
events
Yeah, I think
stuff,
so.
management. And
Yeah.
then it's funny how businesses evolve. Like the way they end up sometimes has nothing to do with how they started.
Yeah, and then the pivot, all the pivots along the way.
Even how we started.
Yeah,
Like,
completely
when we started,
different.
we all we did was consulting, just telling people what to do,
Yeah.
and then we're like, okay, we need to start executing a little bit. And then we moved into more execution, and then we went all in on just. Again, we're identifying what the market needed,
Right.
and it was like strategic execution, clarity development, and then on top of that, how do you execute on these things?
Yeah.
And then okay, let's do it for you,
Right.
sort of thing. But like the way our business started,
Are we going to talk about it?
I don't want to. I mean, it was.
No, it was. We shouldn't say don't want to. It was what we needed to do in the moment,
It's fair. It is what we needed to do in the moment.
and we had some really great experiences too.
Yes. Because where I came from, like I had an agency beforehand. Like I've had businesses I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, and
Not quite. You're not quite that old.
I'm not quite that old, but it's
Close
closer.
enough.
It's crazy. It's closer to 20 than 15.
I know.
Crazy. I remember it was like I've been doing this for a decade, and like
I
that's
hate
a nice
that we're
round
that
number.
age
I
where
know.
like I can be like, yeah, I remember 20 years ago. Like,
I know.
It's fine.
It's
Fine.
But you know what? There's a lot of lessons that I learned
A lot of lessons.
20-ish years ago. 18 years. Yeah, 18 years. Wow. I have more. These cameras are good. How many gray hairs do I got? If you're listening to this, I just look like an idiot trying to find my gray hairs in the camera. What were we going to talk about? Where we started? How so much Hazer started? Anyway,
Yeah.
I had an agency beforehand, and I've been a business owner forever, mostly small business owner, and again, a lot in many different industries. They all kind of have the same issues, and a lot of it is around clarity, foundational, operational efficiencies and that type of stuff. It's so not sexy to talk about,
No,
like
it's
what they
not at
actually
all.
need, and it's like
Nobody wants
let's
to hear
make
about that.
let's make the foundation sexy, and we were like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And
we came up with our summit framework.
Yeah, we had all these
Which
frameworks
is still
that we
legit. I'm actually proud. Like, that is actually a timeless, the actual summit,
Yeah.
What's it called? Acronym?
Mm-hmm.
Timeless. And it
Yeah,
actually
I
is
live forever.
has been built into what we're doing today too. So that, I think, is really cool that was something that we established literally within the first month or two, and it's still being implemented, but we just do it in a different way now.
Yeah, very different way. It's just so much more focused and unique and built out now. But it was again I've owned. It's just funny how you get a new idea, even as a business owner. You've been doing it for a long time. You get a new idea, and then all of a sudden that naivety is just there again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, fuck it, we can do it. We can change this. We can do that. We can do it so much differently. Even though everything, the alarm bells in my subconscious was
off.
so like we're just going
You're
off
just
the whole
silencing
time.
them.
But I was like, no, this time will be different. It's like a shitty relationship.
Yes.
It's like this time it'll be different.
Oh my God. No, it totally
But it really
is.
was different this time.
Yeah.
Which is fine, which is good. And that's sometimes like that's the difference between some successful business owners and not successful business owners. It's just who survives longer.
Yeah, exactly. Who can keep putting up with the shit every day
Yeah.
and just like keep your head in it and keep going.
Yeah.
You will win. You
Well,
just got to stick it out.
You were more likely to win. Your results may differ if you keep beating your head against the wall. It's kind of like sports too. Like I look at it like as I used to fight professionally. You look at a lot of guys and girls now in the sport. They get into it and they just need a lot. There's like a certain point. It's like you go from amateur to pro, and then it's those like first few years of being pro.
Yeah.
You can really tell if somebody has it or not. And then they either keep going for way too long without the proper people around them, without the proper discipline, training structure, keeping healthy. And then there's the ones that like just do it right. They're like, okay, I'm going to learn from every mistake I've made and then just keep moving forward. And they're the ones that are most likely to be successful. So you kind of have to do the same thing, similar thing with an entrepreneur. It's how well do you learn, and then how well do you take your lessons, create the processes, and make better decisions going forward.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we have lived by is fail fast and then make the changes that you need so that you can set yourself up for the success. If you're not failing fast and learning from it and actually changing how you're doing your business, then no, you're probably not going to have the success that you're looking for. That's like one of the biggest things I think that we've done, and we've done really, really well.
We've definitely changed. We did that part good, but it's decision making. It's making the right decisions at the right time, using data, not just feelings.
Right.
And sometimes the feelings are
Aren't always facts.
Not always. Not always. If you're a 5-year-old, maybe for sure, but no, feelings aren't always facts. And it's you get a lot of. There's so much advice from, like even like the Steve Jobs from when he was alive, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg and all these kind of unicorns, right? And like the Altmans and all this kind of stuff, and they have some philosophies. There was one that I just watched with Elon. They were talking to him about hiring the right people. He's like, well, it's just kind of my gut. I just go with my gut feeling. Now, somebody like Elon, his gut has so much experience, and it's a fairly smart gut, right? Whether you agree with him or not, in some cases, it's true. Go start $10 billion businesses, and then you can complain. But he says, yeah, it's my gut. I mostly use my gut. An inexperienced entrepreneur would be like, okay, I'm gonna just go with my gut in this in my hiring process, or what decisions I should make going forward. And it's like, you're not there yet. You don't have PayPal and all these other just crazy experiences to develop that. You have to look. You have to create your own decision making framework based on data, based on the reality that's in front of you. So they take these unicorn advice, and it's just not real.
Right. It's interesting too, because Sydney and I have actually talked about using your gut in decisions, but we've more so been talking about it from a people perspective or a partner perspective. Like, there are times where you can listen to your gut if alarm bells are going off when it comes to finding a business partner, or maybe you're hiring somebody like a key player in your organization. Sometimes you do have to lean into that. And I think that in those places it probably comes up a bit more. But I think you're talking about more like tactical, strategical,
that's a word.
more tactical, strategic decisions in your business rather than what Sid and I have talked about, where it's like people-wise.
I think even with that too, like your gut feeling is just a metric you take into consideration
Right.
with the whole.
Yeah, right.
Right. And if you're like, we've been around a lot of people, we've made bad decisions.
For sure.
We've made okay decisions. We've made some good decisions when it comes to people. So
Yeah.
our gut's a little bit more trained.
Attuned,
It's a little bit more trained and in tune. So you do have to do that. But somebody who, if this is your first time negotiating a partnership, like an equity partnership
Yeah.
or anything like that, like your gut's not going to know what the hell's going
For
on.
sure.
Your gut's going to be excited. You're like, oh yeah, I got a
Yeah.
partner, and they say they have all these contacts and can bring us this much business and
Right.
this much referral. And then like one of my really good friends of mine, he has a construction company in Arizona, and he wants to get out of the day-to-day, and he brought in a contractor, and immediately he's like, we'll give you 25% equity if you just
Yeah.
take over, and I don't have to be on site anymore. And luckily, push came to shove, he got a flat tire, and he was just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this
Anything.
anymore.
Yeah.
So that's somebody that would have flaked
When things got hard.
When things got hard,
Yeah.
which they always will in a business. That's what she said. And I couldn't, I had to. He laughed a little bit. That's good. The producer back there. But that was his gut. That was the first time he's had to do that.
Yeah.
His gut was not,
Right. In that
it
situation.
wasn't sending the right signals. His
Yeah.
gut was like, oh, freedom. Somebody else
Yes,
doesn't have to be on
exactly.
site, do the work. Somebody
Yeah.
else doesn't have to do this. So he needed to take in and listen to the other metrics more than his gut.
For sure.
It's just one of those, again, developing your own decision-making framework that works for you, and find people that are, in that case, find people that have the gut that has the experience, and then ask them
Yeah.
and work with them. That's obviously invaluable. What else were we talking about? I feel like that was a tangent that we got off
It
on.
totally was a tangent. We were talking about the highlights of the last year, and then we ended up there.
I mean, I think that's what this is about. We just end up where we end up. That was our whole business plan starting.
Oh, that's what
Anyways.
we were talking about.
Yeah, where we were
where things
going.
started and where we're going.
Yeah, no, where are we going?
I mean, I think one of the most exciting things, like we're obviously back in Vegas. I don't know if you mentioned that at the start. I don't think you did, but we are in Vegas, which is so exciting to be back. And we've really hit the ground running. Like as soon as we got here, I was saying to Zach, I've been so exhausted, but in the best possible way, because we have not stopped. Like we got to Vegas 6 weeks ago. Almost to the day. I think tomorrow's 6 weeks. And I have consistently been at 3 networking events every single week, just trying to like get out into the scene here and understand what's happening in Vegas with the local businesses, who is around and who's building and who's doing what. And that has been really, really cool. And then comes for after the networking, then you get all of the follow-up meetings too that are happening. So it's just like, it's a snowball that doesn't stop, which I am loving, but it has been a hell of adjustment going from like running our business remotely in 2 smaller places in Arkansas and in Canada where we didn't have access to these types of opportunity, and now we're here and we're like, okay, so this is what it's like to like be in it and be around all of the opportunity. It's been amazing and exciting, but exhausting.
I think you go to like everything happens for a reason.
Oh,
sort of things.
100%.
If it would have been the other way around, like if we would have started it in Vegas, I think we would have been screwed.
I think so too.
Because I had before we moved to Arkansas, I had an agency, and it was a sales leadership development agency. We went into like big companies, and we kind of reverse engineered and fixed and consulted with their kind of bigger leadership organizations. Sorry, their sales, bigger sales organizations from a leadership perspective. And I kind of stayed away. Like we did no marketing in Vegas. We stayed away from Vegas. We didn't work with anybody local. We worked with small businesses, but they were all Utah, Chicago, California a lot, Arizona a lot. We like hid from Vegas for some reason. We just never took it seriously because it was always, the big hospitality, gaming, and that kind of stuff. So I think that we would have went into it maybe probably with that lens, like stay away from it. Let's just use Vegas as kind of like people come here to visit.
Right.
And so let's use that angle of things where, now that's down for multiple reasons, but now that we're back, and then we have this foundation set now, I have so much more of an appreciation for local Vegas. Vegas is turning into an actual city, which is kind of crazy to think. Not all of the revenue in the city is going to be coming from casinos and gambling and that kind of stuff. Like we have
and entertainment.
The sport teams that are coming here. There's a lot more investment in tech and that kind of thing. And then there's the small business community is getting a little bit stronger. So it's been really cool kind of being back here and seeing almost that like excited naivety in the, speaking of naivety and starting businesses, but in the business community and in the tech startup kind of space. Is I had the podcast that will come out after this. I'm plugging my own podcast now on my own podcast with a guy named Michael DeLuca, he's taken it kind of under, he's taken the startup and founder community kind of under his wing.
Yeah.
He's a guy that was really successful with Red Carpet, I believe is his one of his main companies that he scaled to 9 figures here in Vegas, and he just started another. He just raised about $5 million, for Otzi, and you'll learn all about it on the podcast. But he started a group, kind of I don't know if it's a mentor group, but kind of a community called Scared to Scale, where it's a lot of these business owners, founders, wannabe entrepreneurs can kind of come together and say, okay, what are the realities of starting a business? Yeah. What are the realities of raising money? What is the realities of going to market with something and actually pitching and that kind of stuff? And even he said, we're kind of like the D team here. Like there's a lot of investors that are here. They have the nice houses up on the hill and all that kind of stuff, but they take their money. They're going to the Valley. They're going to New York and all this kind of stuff. They just don't take it seriously here. So to see kind of that kind of being here on the ground floor of seeing this community and seeing things build, it's pretty cool. And so we're pretty committed. Like I love Vegas. I've decided that I love Vegas.
We weren't sure.
I wasn't sure.
Like, I've always appreciated Vegas, specifically around, this sounds so bad, but like the shopping, the food, and the entertainment. Love all day. Absolutely fantastic place for it. But I've always said I don't know if Vegas is a forever place. And I think coming back here in a completely different space has been, I don't know, it's kind of been challenging that for me. I'm like, okay, maybe Vegas is somewhere that we could be for a long time. I would want to travel during the summers because, like, I don't care what they say, you don't get used to this fucking heat. But I could actually see us being here for, like, a good while. And I never thought that I would say that.
Yeah,
because it's an exciting place to be.
And for not just the obvious Vegas.
Right. But like, for business, it's super exciting.
Yeah, opportunity. And the people are great. We traveled the country. We've met a lot of people. I would say that Vegas is up there.
For sure.
As far as the people are concerned, a lot of people in Vegas would disagree. But again, it's also about the rooms you put yourself in.
That's so true, yeah.
And we put ourselves in some pretty good rooms. Like Gabe's great. It's great hair.
And Trevin, don't forget Trevin.
Who's not in the room?
Shout out, well, that's true, but shout out to Video Podcast Studio.
Big shout out to Video Podcast Studio. We're going to do a big shout out to Video Podcast Studio. Not editing that out either. We're really looking forward to doing some collaborations. He's really big on community too, bringing people together. We just had a networking group, and he got up and he did a Q&A, and he's just himself when he's up there.
It's great.
My God,
everybody should be.
100%. Most of the time. At the end there, I wanted to pull the hook, but he's good at it. And it's also, he does it well. Like he gets up there and the jokes that he makes, not everybody could get away with that, especially today. He can. But he's all about community. He didn't get up there and just pitch.
Right.
Like he didn't pitch anything. He didn't talk about prices. He didn't talk about how his studio works until somebody asked.
Yeah.
He just genuinely wants to help.
Slapping.
No pitch slapping.
Yeah.
101, no pitch slapping. He just got up there and was himself and just talked and just genuinely wanted to build the community sort of thing. I think people see that. Yeah. There's so much inauthenticity. Is that a word?
Inauthentic?
Yeah. Right now with AI. Is that a word?
Inauthenticity?
Is it sure? Okay, cool. Sometimes I'm not sure. Sometimes I sound smart and I'm like, that wasn't a real word. There's no way.
Listen, you just made it one, okay? I got you.
Let's go. What was I talking about?
Community. Building community here. Inauthenticity.
Yeah, we should do that. No, there's so much inauthentic content out there now. Like with AI, nobody knows who's calling them. Is it a real person? Who's texting me? Is it a real person? Am I chatting with a real person? Am I looking at a real person online now?
Right. You don't know.
Nobody knows. So we're craving a lot of that connection, I think. And I think it's just going to get, I'm not going to say worse, but I think it's going to get more so that way. So people they're ecosystem builders, they're community builders, I think they're really important. And he's one of them. So big shout out. That was a long-winded shout out to Video Podcast Studio. Can you go get his fat ass in here? Trevin. We're going to try to get him.
Smart ass.
In here. There he is. Come
Did
sit
you hear
down.
how he just called you? He said, did you hear what he said?
Yeah, that's my back
You shit.
We're gonna get him. That was a good segue, I think. We were just
Totally.
shouting you out.
It was a long
I
one
heard the
too.
pitch slap. I like that.
Yeah.
No, you said you don't. I
You
keep
don't
breaking this
pitch
thing.
slap.
Yeah, we said that you don't. We were shouting you out for how yourself you were at your little community get together that you had yesterday. It was so much fun to watch you.
No, it was great.
So much fun to
Great.
watch you. But yeah, Trevin of the Video Podcast Studio, we were just doing a little ad for you. So that thing was about $800.
Free one.
But no, because you're really big on community, being authentic, being yourself. Some of the jokes were just crazy that you're making up there. But is that how you've always been? Like, is that like a business decision that you've made?
Well, I always say crazy things, so I have to learn how to tail that back sometimes. The more I'm around for something, I just keep getting darker and darker. So, but when I opened up the studio, it was a conscious decision of being like, hey, we need to build community. Like, our space is designed to help people connect with other people. And I always thought I was good at that with my previous business until I like sat down and realized like I was super transactional. I was very friendly and my clients loved me, but I'd be like, oh, hey, how's the family? By the way, any work for me? Right? Like,
Gotcha.
yeah, I wasn't actually building relationships. And so like opening up the studio opened my eyes to that. I was like, okay, we need to just like stop being transactional.
Yeah.
Let's find our people. Let's build some resources that can help other people connect. And the more we can do that and just be a connector and build relationships with people, that'll carry our business as we go forward.
Yeah, for somebody who says they don't like networking events,
I know.
you
You
sure
do a hell of a lot of them.
Well, you do a lot of them, and you're good at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just barely started throwing our own because I don't like going to them. Because
So
it's like,
funny.
yeah, it's like there's so many pitches up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the types of people showing up. And I think it's because it's the culture of that event. It's just kind of a given. So we're trying to create our own culture of networking and just focus on building relationships. You know, so we try to do a few different ones and we're trying to figure out what makes the most sense for us to actually keep doing and then what makes sense to just kind of cut because it's not worth doing for us.
Something that I noticed from coming to one of your events, I came to the women's night. This was the first event that I went to that someone did not immediately hand me a business card. Like everyone was just having conversations and it wasn't like, hi, I'm so-and-so, here's my card. Where almost every other event that I've been to, and I've been to 12 to 15 probably in the last 6 weeks, within a minute of meeting somebody, here's my card.
Yeah, they're
I'm
like the
that
people on
is
the strip with the hookers.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
stuff. It was
literally.
like that at these events. And
Literally,
they're even then they're all over the floor, like no one cares.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what happens with their business cards too, right? Like somebody comes and does that, you're literally just dropping it on the floor and throwing it away later.
Some of them are nice. I feel bad about it. I'm like, this
I mean,
paper's good.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a whole system with the business cards I've got. I was telling you about them. So if I talk to somebody,
Elaborate.
Paper.
yeah, literally.
In your house.
No, my desk. No, I'm joking.
Washing.
No, but I have a system where if it is somebody that I want to connect with and I ask for the business card, it actually helps me remember who they are. So when I get home from the event, if I've gone to multiple that week and I haven't gone through, I'll literally stack them based on the event that I was at so that I can kind of remember, okay, this one came from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever it might be. And then I'll go through each stack and say, this is the person I want to connect with. This is a not so much. And then as I get the meeting with them, then I'll throw away their card.
Yeah.
But it like is
But you
sometimes
asked for
I
it, right?
asked
Which
for
is the
those.
keyword, 'cause
Yeah.
The difference, the person who just handed it to you, you're probably putting it in your other pocket, or that's the trap file.
Yeah.
And then the problem is if you get them your card, all of a sudden you're on an email newsletter.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh my
read
God.
emails.
That you didn't ask for.
Yeah, that I'm like, I didn't even talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, man, and that's one thing I think I said to you too. I think a few days yesterday, it doesn't matter when. The Vegas, like the culture around marketing and networking
it's
and
so
sales
behind.
is like 10 years, 15 years in the past.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, who's that guy? I'm not going to call him out. He works for a company and it's almost like an MLM style
Oh yeah.
type of thing for legal advice, right? I'm not going to say the actual
Yeah. Doesn't
name.
matter.
Yeah, his name is this. This is his address. But that's super old school. Just hands out these very like over graphicked cards.
Yeah.
and
Like they're from 15 years ago.
from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, show up to
Yeah.
this. There's sushi. We'll have sandwiches, peanut butter and jellies on this day, and it's clearly like, and here's like the pitch is
Well,
just
and
everywhere.
My problem with all those types of events too is like they're just trying to trick you into some pitch.
Yes.
And so like the events that we try to do, like I don't like pitches. Like if we ask anybody to speak, I always tell them like, if you're gonna speak, like I don't want it to be a pitch. Like actually answer questions, deep
Right.
value, because that's the pitch itself, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I spoke at the Women's Chamber Entrepreneur Club for like 30 minutes, and at the end of it, like I got kicked off because like it was time to be done. And then people were like, wait, what do you do? Because I didn't even tie all the
love
services
that.
to. It's just like, what are you guys struggling with? Let's go through these things. I was like, oh, I run a podcast studio. So if you guys want to create content, I guess hit me up.
Yeah.
Then they asked me to come back. I spoke for another 2 or 3 hours at the next event. And then we got some good leads from it. And I didn't even pitch it on it. I just try to help.
People are so impatient. They want, I mean, we want satisfaction right now. Like I want you to buy it right now. So I'm just going to push rather than create the relationship, the connection, give them value.
Which comes off a little bit more desperate too.
Yeah.
Right? And then that situation looks, when you feel like somebody's desperate for the sell, then it's like, well, why are you so desperate? Yeah, good at this isn't a good service. And so even if you are desperate for a sell, you got to kind of like shut it down, cry worry sour later or whatever. Please let me sign up. But like people see that, and so like we are just pitching the whole time. It just feels a little bit desperate versus something that's just like oh. And like for me, like I want our studio to be known as like a place for connections, right? Like I mean today you just got 1,000 people in between sessions, kind of worked out pretty well, and there's some stuff like that where we'll have somebody come in and we hear their session like, oh, you probably need to meet this client. Like there might be some synergy there, and maybe people can do deals together. And so
I will say this was one of the investments, like just in general, like a podcast studio in general, was always an investment that I would veer people away from initially. And this was years ago. This is 5 or 6 years ago. I would, because I was like, okay, like just save your money, just get some content out there, set up your iPhone, whatever it is. And it also depends on the type of business that you're in. But since being here, with the amount of relationships, even and the people that we've met, it's so worth it to, and it goes back to like building the community, building the ecosystem. It's worth it in that alone, in the people that you meet, the people that you can get on your podcast, and the connections that you make in person, rather than being virtual. And some people are like, they have no choice but to be virtual based on geography. But that I would almost push more people now. Get into a studio, get into a room with other people doing shit, and surround yourself with them. You'll get better quicker. First of all, you'll get better, way better quicker. You'll meet better people. You have better guests. You'll have more chance of being on other people's podcasts. And then you can create events and that type of stuff, community, and it feeds it so much.
That was one of the things that sparked my passion for what we're doing, was like realizing how this is a really good tool for businesses to network, right? Because really business is built on relationships, and this is just a tool to build relationships and to network while creating content that helps build relationships online. All that stuff's really good, but I mean, half the time when people come in here, I'm like, dude, screw the content, screw your podcast. This is just a meeting space. When you film it and you get good content, it's valuable, but like if you bring the right people in here, you can build the right connections with certain people. That's so much more value than the content sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like the content is almost like a bonus, like the little cherry on top that you're like, okay, cool, I've had a sick conversation. There's a lot of value pieces that have come out of it, and I can now share that with a bigger audience. But the true value is in those relationships that you're building.
When we bring people in, I tell them, like, for a little while, we had 3 different podcasts that we get to post a single episode, single clip. We would just film them to meet people, give them the content, so post it however they wanted to, and it was generating us revenue.
Right.
So you don't have to post to make money out of this. And I don't know, so that's where I got like pumped about what we're doing. Because like I was telling you guys originally, I was like, oh, I can build something that doesn't require me one day. I really don't care about this place. And when I realized this part of it, I was like, oh wait, never mind. This is like game changing. Like a big difference, especially for smaller businesses.
Yeah, big time. Well, and it's funny when people get into podcasting that everyone always compares themselves to the Rushmore. Right, they're looking at the Rogans and Diary of a CEO, which is Bartlett's, and all those types of people, and then so they try to cater their content, and the reason they're starting a podcast to I just need to get views, I need I need to get a sponsor. I need to get this. I need to get that. Whether it's so versatile for how you can use it, whether it's for your clients, you can meet clients. You can use it as a kind of a lead magnet or something like that, right? Or it's just positioning yourself or finding partners, finding referral sources, interviewing them, and creating a portfolio. We were talking about that at your event last night. It's your portfolio now. Like that's how people buy. People are taking longer to buy certain services. They're going to your social media to buy. They're not going to your website as much, but they're going to your website and then they're going to your socials and then
They want to know who
looking at
you
some of your
are.
content, especially again when it's somebody who's like more of a service where like, okay, I'm hiring a lawyer, so somebody who I'm like putting my life in their hands, right? I want to make sure that they know what they're talking about and I like them. So creating that content, that's your portfolio now. So there's so many different reasons to do this.
I also think it goes back to what you were saying in the beginning, though, around the AI piece. Everybody's questioning the legitimacy, the authenticity of people. So when you show up in this space, people are buying you a lot of the time. Like, yes, they need your service. Yes, they want the value that you bring, but they're buying you. So they need to understand who you are, how you think. And I think that that's one of the biggest differences that we're seeing right now is, like you said, the buying patterns have changed. So how can you stand out in your space and let people connect with you on a deeper level? And this allows you to do that.
Yeah, like, you know, you talk about like law firms using the podcast. I interviewed a law firm not too long ago. They started a podcast, and in their first month, they ended up being a case that brought in a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
Right? For the measly fee of doing a podcast. They're like, holy crap, this is crazy. And they don't have a ton of views, but
The right people.
the people that need their services are looking it up, and then they're finding the podcast, and then they watch it, and they go, I love their personalities. Oh, man, I can see myself working with them. Oh, they care. Oh, they have a case like this. My brother actually just got bit by a dog. I didn't know we could sue for that. Let me reach out to them.
Yeah.
And so they've doubled down and doing more and more podcasts, and, you know, it generates some leads for their business because people get to meet them and see who they are. There's a statistic that says to get somebody to become considered a close friend, you have to spend 7 hours with them. So if you spend 7 hours with somebody, you consider them a close friend.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have podcasts out there and people find it and start diving into it and they end up listening to about 7 hours of it, you become their best friend.
Right.
Right? They buy into you. I mean, there's a podcast that I listen to. It's all about like skateboarding, and like I'll listen to it alone sometimes, and like I'm like laughing when I'm like, oh, Chris, you're so fun. Like, and I feel like he knows.
You know them, yeah.
Right? And he talks about it sometimes, like earlier when they were starting, that like people will just come up to him now and be like, hey man, how's it going? Maybe like that.
Right.
Like they're best friends.
Yeah.
He's never met
Never even seen them before.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this interesting tool to like literally build friendships and relationships online with people without having to physically meet these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're more likely to come up when they're like, oh, I need help with this. You're more likely to be the one that comes up in your head. Like it really plays on that recency bias
And if they
a lot too.
watch it and they hate your personality, even better.
Yeah, because then they know
They aren't going to reach out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
a great quote. I need a
great
great. There's a great quote from, it was a copywriter that we worked with,
Yeah.
and she's more like on what your website is. Like your
Yeah.
copy and your website should be a nightmare for the people that are wrong for
like
your
a
business.
living hell. Like
Like you're-
people should be on your page.
It's
Like
a little intense.
no, that's literally what she said. She's like, it should be
She's
like
a
a
little
living.
intense.
That's fair. But also, I loved it because it's like, if somebody's on your site, they should be like cringing if you are not for them, and if you are for them, every single part of their being should be screaming like, yes, they are the person for me. And if your copy, your message is not that clear, then I think that you lose out on a lot of opportunity for getting the people who you need and / can help and deliver the most value to.
That's kind of how we describe it to like our clients
Yeah.
starting podcasts. I'm like, I want you to be so boring to the rest of the world that the only
We're
people
so
that
annoying.
ever watch this are people who need you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Because like I don't want people watching because you were funny, right? Or because you're showing like at me, I'm just like topless showing my man boobs, right? Like the whole time. I might get views because I got a sexy body I pop, you know, but like
That's his sales pitch.
Yeah.
there you go. I don't say what I was gonna say. Anyways,
You should.
but you know, like you don't want people watching it because it was entertaining and they are never going to use your service, right? You really just want the people that go onto this and like I needed to hear this. I have these questions. You're answering them, because then they also become educated. Like the podcast does a lot of educating, and like educated clients are the best clients because you don't have to like really sell them. And if they already like and trust you from watching the podcast, they already know how you kind of work because they've been watching your podcast. Then they just come to you like, I'm ready. You go like, oh, cool. Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, I mean, and you said it about a million times. It was funny because you could tell you're like, okay, again, it just depends what your goal is. It just depends It just depends. It depends because it's like any other lever that you pull. It should all be in line with each other. If you start a podcast and your goal is to get more business, your goal in the podcast isn't just to get more arbitrary views. It's got to be in line with the content that you post. If you're spending money on ads, it should all, because somebody's going to see your ad, go do a search on you. And if you're selling legal services and they go to your YouTube channel, you're talking about crystals or some shit, it's probably going to go against, it's probably going to mitigate the effectiveness of the rest of the tactics 100%. That you're employing. Right
Unless you're like a hippie lawyer.
Unless you're a hippie lawyer.
And that's your personality and you're super into crystals.
Yeah.
And you want more clients that are super into like energy and all that stuff, then
it's
dive in deep to it, and you can be talking
it.
about that stuff. Like you can be rubbing crystals while you're answering legal advice. And like, before I give you legal advice, I actually consult my crystals.
If like Navi or Demopoulos is starting a crystal YouTube podcast, probably wouldn't go very well.
I think.
But yeah, you're right.
I think your point though is you have to be intentional in business. Right? Everything leads back to being intentional and making sure that the decisions that you're making on a day-to-day basis are aligning with the levers that you need to pull in your business that are going to get you to where you're trying to go. So,
and I feel like that's a struggle for a lot of entrepreneurs to stay focused, right? Because it's like, as entrepreneurs, we're always solving problems. We get these ideas or we see these things, oh, I can fix that, or I can turn this into something. And myself included, oftentimes it's like, oh, we could do this type of thing, or we could do this. Or what if we did this, or a podcast about this? And it's like, okay, but like, let's refocus. Like, what is our end goal? Who are we trying to reach? Why are we doing these things? Does this make sense? And if not, even if it is a really good idea, maybe we shouldn't do it because I got limited time and resources.
That's why I like all your event ideas. Because, I mean, it obviously depends how you curate the event, but that's in line with what we both do, and we could have so much fun.
I know.
So that leads into we have an event coming.
Quick plug.
October 18th. You'll be there.
Yep.
You're going to be there. So if you want to sign up, you can go to Eventbrite. We'll have a link somewhere down below. October 18th, we're going to be at the S Bar in the Mandalay Bay. It's going to be an actual networking event with curated networking icebreaker exercises.
We're matchmaking.
We're matchmaking. No, you're going to have an intake form. We're going to match. And this is something that we do all the time with a lot of our courses. We match you with the appropriate, who would be the best match for you to have a conversation with that's going to help you move your business in the right direction. And you'll also have a educational event from somebody who has been there, done that, raised the money, built the revenue, built the business, built the systems. You can learn from them in a short, curated, educational 30-minute session.
Business growth session.
Business growth session.
Educational sounds so dull.
Education's
more exciting than that.
That is, you're right. It's a business growth session. You're not going to learn anything. It's not going to be educational. It'll be great. And again, this isn't going to be, nobody's going to be pitching, anything like that. You'll have the chance to do a 5-minute interview with the man himself. It'll be his crew. I don't know if he'll be the one doing the interviews, but he'll be there, and you'll get some content for yourself, learn how to market, and learn how to get your business message out there better. Before we go, what's like the biggest words of wisdom you could give an entrepreneur right now who is like, I need to start marketing myself. I need to get myself out there, but I'm scared because I'm a little weird. What should they do?
Be weird.
Come here. We have a lot of weird people here. We specialize in helping the weird be a little less weird.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. We try to fix you. We do shock therapy and stuff.
No, you asked the question.
I'd say like the biggest piece of advice, I feel like most of the time people are just scared. People are intimidated. They're scared of what people are going to think about them. I don't speak eloquently enough. I'm too ugly. I'm too all these things. I mean, that's how I feel about myself. I don't want to be in front of the camera. Spent 18 years behind the camera on purpose. I shot like 7 episodes on site at different businesses like 8 years ago, and then I like looked at them. I was like, I'm not posting these. I'm so fat. I'm so gross.
Ooh.
And then I just deleted them all. And
That
then
makes me
that's when I
sad.
was skinny. And now look at me. And now I'm actually on camera.
You got
And-
personality, man. Come on.
But I'll say this is you're doing a disservice to people if you don't open your mouth and create content. There's people out there that need to hear what you have to say because only you can connect with them. Only you can say it in a way that's going to be impactful for them. And I've seen that. I did some social posts from like podcast clips or creating content. And then like we had like clients come in, they're like, oh my gosh, that post that you did like changed everything for me. I now understand it differently. I'm like, oh, a like and a comment would have been nice because nobody likes or
some
comments anything of
engagement
ours.
here.
Yeah.
But like you make more impact than you think you do. So just open your mouth and start creating, and you're gonna find people and you're gonna help people change.
I feel like I needed to hear that, so thank you.
She did.
I
She
did. I literally like content is the bane of my existence, but hearing you say that and in such a way that it makes it less scary makes me think like just get your head out of your ass and do it. Like what are you doing?
Well, subscribe to the Swearing by It podcast.
I mean, I talk a lot there.
You say a lot there, but that's a great that's a good example of that, though. Like it's just you and Sydney being yourselves.
Yeah.
You filmed a couple episodes here,
Yeah.
now about a month ago, and you guys get ladies, entrepreneurs who are women, all the time. Or like, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm listening to this, and I feel like I'm not alone.
Yeah. And it's exciting. It's scary. I'm not gonna lie, like it's scary. And sometimes when people talk to me now and they're like, "Oh, I listened to your episode," I immediately am like, "Oh fuck, what did I say?" But it all makes it worth it when they're like, "You said the things that a lot of people aren't saying," and it made me feel like I'm not alone in this. Like some people have been like, "I feel like I'm listening to my business besties," and I'm like, "Sick. I love that." Like I want to be able to help other women see like. It can be really freaking hard, especially when you're juggling multiple businesses, raising a family, but it's so worth it. And like, if you just keep focusing on the right things and pushing through, you will be able to build the business and the life that you want. So it makes it all worth it, but it is a little scary.
Yeah, and you're making an impact, right? Like these women felt alone, right? And now they found a place that they can go to and not feel this way. They can feel like they're not crazy or that they aren't, that they can start feeling like they are good enough, even if they feel like they're having shortcomings because you guys are talking about it, right? And if you never did open up your mouths, they'd be sitting there still feeling the same way, beating themselves up or whatever they're doing. And so, and that's the thing that like gets me excited about like our studio and what we get to do is most of our clients are like trying to help people.
Yeah.
Right, whether that's helping them with their business growth, whether that's helping them with this or that, even if it's helping them find good places to eat. Like they're trying to make a difference in people's lives. And if they didn't open their mouths, there'd be so many people that weren't able to get their needs met. Because once again, there's like things that you're gonna say that will only resonate with certain people.
Right.
Versus like if somebody else said it, like it would just go over their heads.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like when I say something to my wife, it goes over, she doesn't listen, but then somebody else says it and she's like, oh my gosh, what a good idea. Right?
The 100% that happens with some of our clients. I just had that conversation with somebody today. But we're going to end it there. Welcome back to the Summit Chasers podcast. We're really happy to be back. We're really happy to be in the studio. Yeah. Really happy to be partnering with the man, the myth, the legend, Trevin. And thank you, Adrena. I did always say I would never have you on my podcast.
I know.
And you're here. You were amazing.
And I'm
brilliant.
the first. I feel so special.
You were the first in this since this is season 3. You're
Listen,
the first of season 3.
Shut up. I'm the first in-person episode, and I'm so excited that you had me on. I hope you'll bring me back. I expect you to bring me back.
That'll be up to you, viewers. But anyways, everybody, stay tuned for a lot more. We have some amazing guests lined up, and we have our very first guest, other than you two, who I'm partners with, somebody who's not a partner in the business, coming out at the end of... What's the month right now? The end of August. So stay tuned for that one. We'll have dates and everything coming up in our newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter if you're not already. There'll be in the link in the description below. But until next time, everybody, keep chasing your next summit.
Here we go.
Podcast. I'm here with the
Money, making crap for money.
Yeah.
Money, and